What's up, YouTube? This is Brandon, Third Rate Duelist. Gonna go ahead and do an updated Lair Darkness Infernoid deck profile for you guys. So last time I played this deck was at the Indianapolis, Indiana regional they had in the beginning of June. I placed 18th there with it, and then the time before that I took it to St. Louis regional a couple weeks before that and got 18th there as well. And haven't showcased it in a minute, so let's go ahead and do an updated deck profile. So to start off, I'm gonna show off my fancy field center again that Dustin got me. So, 2 mom, 2 dad. So you don't need any more than 2 of each of the big ones. Any more than that's cloggy, but you have to play at least 2 because of Void Feast plays and also Void Imagination. And then still playing 1 Atondal because OTKs and it's another name. And then 2 Sestimus, non-targeting monster removal. So this card outs the Goki Extra Link, so it's pretty good. And then 1 of the level 6 for the Void Feast play. And then utility cards, we play 2 of the level 3 and 2 of the level 4. So pop spells and traps, pops monsters. So these are in here because they're names, they're utility cards, and they help with Omega plays. So they're pretty good. I wouldn't change the ratio of this. And then to round off infernoid monsters, triple Decatron. And then this is Lair of Darkness Infernoid. The only lair monster I'm playing is Arima. The last profile I did, I was playing Darkest Diablos, and I actually ended up cutting him because it's super cloggy. I dead drew it a lot, and so I feel like it's not really needed. So just triple Arima for the lair monsters. And then to round off monsters, I'm playing double Raiden. Makes Omega first turn more consistently, puts cards in the graveyard for your Infernoid plays. So I definitely think it's still necessary. And that's it for monsters. We'll round off spells. So triple Lair Darkness, Heart and Soul of the deck. This card makes this deck busted. You just control the board with this, so it's really, really good. And then for Void spells, I'm playing triple Vanishment, and then double Imagination. So the reason this card is still at 2 is that even though like most decks, extra deck turn 1, so going against like Goki, if they extra link you, this card is essentially dead, especially if you're playing 3 copies of it. So I opted to only play 2 of it, so that way I could play Terraforming, because, as I said earlier, Lair of Darkness and Sestimus, they both out the Goki Extra Link, and then so does Void Vanishment. A lot of people don't know the secondary effect of this card, but if an Infernoid I control does battle, at the end of the damage step, I contribute this card to banish both targets. So I'm main decking 3 different cards that out the Goki Extra Link, which would be Vanishment, Lair of Darkness, and Sestimus.
And how does Lair of Darkness out the Goki board?
So when you play Lair of Darkness, you play any of the big Infernoid monsters, and you just tribute, like, let's say, Cerberus, the ones that can't be destroyed by card effects. So you just tribute the Cerberus for cost, and then play a Nuku and bomb the board. So as long as you can play around the Tri-Gate Wizard, which usually you can, this Lair of Darkness, Sestimus, and Banishment all out the Goki Extra Link.
As long as they don't have the Link 4, right?
Yes.
Right. Normal summon.
And then playing double Charge, because we're playing 2 Raiden. And then this card I recently added, Double Call by the Grave. So depending on your hand, you can potentially lose to Ash. So I opted to put this card in and took out the Foolish Burial and the Darkest Diablos for this. And I like having it in there. And then still playing Double Burial. This card's really good if you're going second. I really like it a lot.
Decided out going first.
If I'm going first, I'll side out 1 copy of it, just so I can play more first turn cards. But usually I try and keep 1 copy of it in, because this card wins games, especially when you're going into the mid game and you're trying to grind out some resource. The Infernoid engine in this is like really small comparatively to like pure Infernoid, so I feel like this card is like almost necessary for the times that games drag on. And then for the one-ofs, still playing 1 Monster Gate. Again, if you open Lair of Darkness and this, you just tribute a monster for free. It's super, super good. Reasoning, because even though like the normal summon engine's a little higher than this, playing like triple Arima and double Raiden, you can still send cards to graveyard. This is still good. 1 for 1 because you want to see Decatron. And the last spell is I am playing 1 Terraforming now.
Why only 1?
Playing triple Arima, I don't think more than 1 is necessary. So the reason I opted to play this instead of the third Imagination is because going first, you want to see Lair of Darkness, that way you can control the game. And going second, you want to see Lair of Darkness, so that way you can break your opponent's board. But seeing multiple copies of Lair isn't very good. So playing like 3 Arima, 3 Lair, and 1 Terraforming, you have a 17% chance of seeing it in your opening hand. And I like those odds. And then to round off the main deck, Triple Void Feast. I see some people playing 2 of this, but I kind of have this geared to more go first and then resolve Void Feast and kind of control the board. And so what a lot of people don't know is you can actually send a Void Feast off of a Void Feast and resolve 2 of them. And then you'll end with triple negate and 2 big noids. And then if you have Lair of Darkness too, you should win that game if you resolve 2 of this card. And then on to extra, I am playing Triple Tiara. Now I know like a lot of people play 1 of this or 2. Realistically, you're only gonna resolve 1 Tiara off an imagination. But the reason I'm playing 3 is because the infernoid engine is like super small in this. So if my opponent has a board that I really don't want to pop anything, or they don't have a big enough board for me to send triple Nitesse, I'll send other copies of Tiara so that way I can kind of feel my graveyard a little more. And then obviously triple Nitesse for the pop. And then Synchros, I'm playing 1 Omega because playing Omega with Lair and making them play with less cards is good. Black Rose, so this card's actually like super clutch. So especially against like Altergeist, if you can red reboot them, you Black Rose the board and win. If you open Lair and you can tribute away the Cerberus, you can just Black Rose them and take control of the game state from there. A new addition is F.A. Dawn Dragster. So the reason I opted to put this in is because going first, if I open like Raiden and Harmodic, I don't really want to go into Black Rose turn 1, obviously. So F.A. Dawn Dragster is just an extra negate I can put in there. So if I can resolve Void Feast with F.A. Dawn Dragster, I can have 2 spell trap negates, which is really good against Trickstar Brandish. And then still playing the 1 of this for OTKs. And then on to Links. Still playing 1 of the Master Archfiend because with Lair on board, they're all dark, so you can't make Cerberus you can't make Doolittle Chimera anymore, excuse me. And then 1 Doolittle Chimera. This card wins games. 1 Link Karibo. Finally got my Link Karibo, guys, even though it's a common. But this card is super clutch, especially if Decatron gets Veilered or Ashed or Impertinenced. This puts Decatron in gray for you to further your plays. It's really good. And then still playing 1 Underclock. So generic Link 2, you can further damage by targeting like an Anuku and making your opponent's monsters lose attack, which is really good. And then I did opt to play 1 Mermaid, just in case my opponent gives me Ibly to try and lock me out. I can just get out of the Ibly and then continue my plays from there. And that's it for the extra deck. Now, the side deck is geared towards my locals, so feel free to change it as you want. I would change it myself if I was going to a bigger event. So, for side, we're doing double Veiler. I don't have impertinences, so this is just inherently good against Goki because they can't chain block Veiler. If I had impertinences, I would opt to play the impertinences over Veiler because I am playing Monster Gate and Reasoning, and I won't hit him. Veiler, you can potentially summon it off of Monster Gate and Reasoning, which really sucks. So impertinence is just better. 1 Lava Golem, 1 Sphere Mode for the Goki matchup. And then double Denko Sekka. So this card is actually like super clutch against Altergeist, which we have a couple people at our locals that play Altergeist, so I side it for them. So essentially, like going first, you just play Denko Sekka and set Void Feast, and then in the standby phase you resolve Feast, and you have negates with a Denko, then they can't set cards. So that seems pretty good. I'm still siding the 3rd Imagination. So Imagination at 3 is really good against Brandish Trickstar because they're always going to go into like Kagari or something. So I'll side this in against them. And then double Twin Twister. This is good against the Brandish matchup for whenever they set their spells again on their end phase. Altergeist and Pen Magician, just back row heavy decks. And then double Red Reboot. So the reason I'm playing Red Reboot is because, again, Altergeist, so I can Red Reboot them.
I get a lot of hate.
Yeah, I get a lot of hate. I can Red Reboot them and then Black Rose the board or Deviati the board, and then they essentially set a card and it's going away anyways. So this card's pretty good in this deck. And then double Anti-Spell, Brandish, Pendulum Magician, things along those lines. And then double Mind Crush. So this card is inherently good against every matchup. So it's in the side deck right now. Well, that's the updated Lair of Darkness deck profile. So like, comment, subscribe, guys. Go ahead and let me know down in the comment section what you'd like to see, whether it's a deck profile, meta analysis, anything like that. And we'll see you next time.
Also, real quick, July, what is it,
28th.
28th, we have a win-a-box tournament at
Western Surprise Shop in Sullivan, Missouri. So we're kind of doing a unique thing. It's not going to be like a standard TCG ban list. So the tournament we're playing is no ban list, and it's supposed to be just a lot of fun. And we're just going to try and relax and have fun with it, guys. So go ahead and come on, check us out at the Western Surprise Shop in Sullivan, Missouri. We'd love to have you guys. All right. Later.